Hari Om. Namaskar to all of you. Hey Janardana. I have received a WhatsApp message. She writes, my heart is drenched in unprocessed pain and unanswered questions. Where are we heading, Guruji? Once upon a time there was clarity. Devas and Asuras were distinct. For every shadow there was a light. For every evil force, like Daridra Devata, there stood a counterforce like Mahalakshmi. There was a balance, a dharmic rhythm to existence. But now the lines have blurred. We live in times where humans are turning into monsters, driven by possessiveness, rage, guilt, greed and lust. Families destroying their own people, people killing for money, for love, for betrayal, for ego. Emotional and psychological violence has become so subtle yet so destructive. Some souls being killed every day by narcissists, manipulators and deceivers. Even trust, once the foundation of all human bonds, has become a fragile question. Whom do we trust, Guruji? When masks are worn with such ease and betrayal walks in the guise of any love from near and dear ones. Where is dharma now? Why does Loka Samastha Sukhino Bhavantu, the prayer for universal peace, feel so distant, so ineffective in the world around us? In this age of Kali, roaring louder than ever, are we missing something within ourselves? In the midst of all this, where does Sanatana Dharma stand, Guruji? The eternal path that was meant to uphold truth, compassion and harmony. Is it being tested or are we failing to live by it? How do we as individuals continue to walk that timeless path in a world that feels increasingly godless and chaotic? Yes, I do agree. Those days, the Asuras and Rakshasas were different. And the Devas were different, distinct. Demons and the angels. Yes. Today both have entered the human. That is the difference. You have a Devata and you have a Rakshasa or an Asura inside you. Which will act more at what point of time? Results in harmony or destruction of peace. When the monk was asked a question by the disciple, my dear master, every day in my dreams, I find the good and the evil waging a war. Who will win? The master smiled and replied, the thought whom you feed more will win. So, what is the thought process which we are breeding ultimately is the answer to this. Are we inculcating and developing thoughts of goodness, or are we going to inculcate the thoughts of the evil? You have already said possessiveness, greed, jealousy, anger, resentment. Which thought are we going to breed? Probably today you see more things because there is more breeding of negative thoughts and more breeding of the dark. That's why it's happening. Yes, I agree with you. Why it should happen? Probably that is Kali Yuga, as you rightly said. Please remember, it is only 5,000 years since we have entered into Kali Yuga. Still they say there is about 4,27,000 years for the Mahapralayam to take place. That is human years, they say. We don't know. It is all an abstract calculation. We don't know whether the mathematics is right or wrong. In fact, they say there will be a lot of minor pralayams, minor destruction of the earth here and there, and completely for earth to get destructed. And the Kali Avatara of Lord Narayan to come and reign supreme against the evil takes place after another 4,27,000 years. Why it happens? It happens. We all think that we have a control over the nature. Of course, nature itself has taught us how to defend ourselves against the evil. First evil is our own thinking, thought process. So Sanatana Dharma said, you can recite some mantras, you can do some meditation, you can do some service to humanity. They said so many good things. How many of us are able to practice even maybe 1% of what is said in the Hindu Dharma? First is having knowledge of what has been told. Second is implementation of that knowledge because of the liking towards it and spreading positive energy. How many of us do it in our day-to-day life? Yesterday in Hyderabad, when many people came for Pada Namaskara, one couple impressed me a lot. Both of them said, they were very honest in admitting, please remember, they were brutally honest in saying, Guruji, we are earning a lot, but we are not peaceful. Yeah. Both of them work like anything, they get a lot of money. Of course, money may be utilized in so many ways. But the problem is, there is no work-life balance. Probably work is also overlapping at home also. Nowadays, they say hybrid model. That is 3 days you work in office and 2 days work from home and all they say. But 3 days when you go to office also, after coming back, you still work from home. That is how we have been trapped. Of course, it was very convenient to us when COVID was there. We all adopted that work from home because it gave a flexibility for us. And all the more we are scared to go out. So still work had to be done. Even the management companies, they found it easier. They were able to get things done despite the person not coming to the office. It was very good. But now what has happened? It has become a very toxic culture. Many managements, many companies expect their employees to come back home and manage more work through work from home, even though they have completed the day's schedule in the office. Of course, the day on which work from home, it is going to be 24 hours, where you don't go out of. So today, all the toxicity is there in work culture. One. Second, there is also a toxic culture at home also. Some homes they have elders. Elders may be saying something because elders do not know actually what is going on outside. So their advice is based on some age-old systems which they would have practiced or gone through. Incidentally, they may be saying all that which may not be convenient to the youngsters. And the youngsters may laugh at them also because they do not know the reality outside. Sometimes elders also feel dejected. They feel that they are not being taken proper care because the old style is still there in their mind. They belong to the school of Matru Devo Bhava and Pitru Devo Bhava. They respected their parents and they have taken care of them. That is the kind of expectation is there. Even though they are elders, they have not dropped that expectation. They were able to do it. But the same thing my children may not be able to do it because of their own changed environment in the society, in working conditions and all along. In the middle, there are brothers, there are sisters. The parents get carried away by the problems that happen in their homes, even though they are married, they have gone to other house. Still the parents keep thinking about their problems in this house and they start talking about that. When the children come back from office and there, the way they look at the children, they feel these children are more privileged, they are more comfortable, whereas their own siblings are not that comfortable. Some sort of imbalance sets in even in the elderly people, probably aged people. If they are really elderly, they will be able to understand. And every situation is unique. That is not kept on account of which there is already a lot of toxicity in thinking, in the family also, which also spreads negative aksharas in the environment, as a result of which nobody is peaceful at home also. Neither at office they are peaceful, nor at home they are peaceful, though they earn a lot of money. Sometimes the office problems are brought home and they are discussed. Most of the time, those who marry, they marry almost the same. Like IT professional marrying IT professional, chartered accountants marrying chartered accountants, doctors marrying doctors, technologists marrying technologists, engineers marrying engineers. Even at home,
they don't have a different subject to talk, even profession-wise. And most of the time when it is spoken, one thinks high about himself or herself on account of which there is a lot of ego between even husband and wife. That is why I say, today not just brother-in-law, sister-in-law, father-in-law, mother-in-law, it has come to the extent of husband-in-law and wife-in-law also. It looks as though they were forced into that marriage and that relationship, whatever love they had during the younger days is gone. When this is in a small way in our home itself, when the husband doesn't understand the needs of the wife, or the wife does not understand the needs of the husband because of the changed working environment elsewhere or changed societal conditions in a family. When it happens in a small area called a family, within the known family members, so much of negativity being there. Just imagine villages, countries, nations, Jagat. So the more the negativity, the more the negative thoughts, the ideas get propounded more negatively, and there is a gross eradication of human values. Absolutely, there will not be any human value in all such circumstances. That is why these things are happening. Sometimes mothers are killing their own children. Sometimes fathers are killing their own children. To that extent, ego, to that extent, possessiveness, to that extent, anger. What is to be told about this? This is not a welcoming thing, or this is not a good thing. But still, the Hindu dharma, which is based on Sanatana, always says be positive, contribute to this country, contribute to the world through this country. If all Hindus are united, and if Hindus follow the Sanatana dharma that has been given to them, of course, there are certain impracticable things which cannot be implemented today. I am not talking on those points. Still, there are very good points to take care of the society, to take care of the community, to bring unison among various caste and creed. Today, that is, unity is very important. If that unity is there, then whatever may be the societal compulsions, the unity will stand more firm with the person, on account of which they will be able to more concentrate on what has been said in the Shastra, and they will bring more positivity. They will give more hope to humanity and the world. Because the Hindu dharma is an age-old dharma. All other religions came subsequently, but the Hindus are very age-old, and they form almost 1.4 to 1.5 billion of the world population. They are almost 1/5 or 1/6 of the entire world population. So many people can infuse positivity. Instead of asking why this happens, I think we should think what we can contribute from our side to see that the severity is mitigated. How to bring that? How to bring that concept? How to spread positivity among the villages, everywhere? Make people aware. That awareness that you belong to a treasure, and what you have in the name of Sanatana Dharma is a treasure to be valued. Of course, castes have been divided. Castes have been divided according to the profession that one practiced. See, today we have an Aadhaar card. But an Aadhaar card is not accepted as a constitutional validity for you being a citizen of this country. An Aadhaar card is a mere identification card. That's what their government says. You must have a passport or something else. Some other documents are there which certifies that you are a citizen of this Bharata Desh. Aadhaar card is a mere identity. You are so and so. That's all. And your iris or fingerprint they take. That is to just identify. But that doesn't mean that you belong to this country. Is it? Like that, as a Hindu, your identity is Sanatana Dharma, and the constitutional validity is also Sanatana Dharma. They divided into caste as per the profession. Suppose, today in order to find out whether you are a Hindu or not, if most of us are going to be identified based on the profession what we are practicing, whether I can be called as a Brahmin, whether somebody else can be called as a Kshatriya, whether somebody else can be called as a Shudra or a Vaishya, depends on what profession he has been doing at this particular point of time. Many of us will lose the status of a so-called higher class if we are reclassified once again. So, today what is important is, we should not go into these caste feelings, and we all must remain united to send a positive vibe from our side so that such things come down grossly. Such things, such negative things, because just because it's saying Kali Yuga and not fighting against the evil is not a dharmic proposition. If the evil has to be fought, it has to be fought tooth and nail without any courtesy. But the problem here is, the good itself is not united. The good itself today has got a lot of ego, has got a lot of possessiveness. Good people have got greed. Good people have got anger. See, if you are a very angry person, even if you do good, nobody is going to accept it. Whatever you want to express, you must be a person approachable first. Suppose you want to spread the message of Sanatana, and you want people to recite certain things or practice certain things which will bring about unity among ourselves. You must be a person devoid of anger, and you must be a person who must be approachable, acceptable to the public at large. Whether we can do all that, whether a very good person, a knowledgeable person, a realized soul. See, all knowledgeable people are not realized, please remember. Knowledgeable people have some knowledge, that's all. They need not be a realized soul. Having knowledge is different, being realized is something different. So, not all knowledgeable people are realized, or they have got wisdom or wisdom. We need such wise people who are not only knowledgeable but also realized souls, who can communicate in a particular way so that people start practicing many of the things which will strengthen the bondage of Hindus and indirectly will strengthen the bondage of togetherness among various country people. Because everything started with this. So the roots of all religions, you can find it in Hinduism. So the root has to be watered. You should put good organic manure to the root so that the tree what grows, the tree of life, will be stable and healthy. For that, root is very important. The root is nothing else but the Hinduism, Hindu philosophy, the tattva of Hindu. Okay. Just because you are a Hindu, they didn't give you license to ill-treat other religions. Please remember. In fact, a true Hindu respects everything. A true Hindu knows what to respect, to what extent to respect. He knows very well. He respects. He says, Namaskar, this Anjali Mandira, to anything and everything. He is not furious. A very angry person cannot convey good things. They will only cling on to what they want to say, and the ego will be to that extent. And you have to simply follow it. They will not allow you anything here and there and you will feel very suffocated with a very egoistic person. To live a life with an egoistic person is very difficult. So, all these things are happening because first there is no unity among us. And people have to be told when you are young, you have to be told. I don't say that you must be conditioned the way my masters have conditioned me. Of course, I am a prayogi, I came for something else. Okay. So we do prayogams, we do so many things which was taught to us. Okay. Yes. But at the same time, our masters also taught about life. Our masters taught about unity. Our masters right from the beginning they said everything is one. Ekam sat vipra bahuda vadanti. Satyam is only one. It is rumored as though it is called by several names. So that kind of. So how are we going to bring that? Are we going to just keep discussing like this by giving lectures and discourses? Or are we going to get down and start working for this? In all our satsangs, especially in Narasimhavadi, we make everybody to sing. We make everybody to participate. What is the reason for it? The reason for it is we have no difference. And we want everybody to pray to Bhagavan. Ultimately, Bhagavan Janardana, Prayoga Narasimha, he takes care of everybody and anybody. That's the kind of faith, belief, acceptance. We are not accepting. Most of the time we say we are tolerating. Tolerating means what is it? We are just managing it. Someday it will erupt. Tolerance is not needed. Acceptance is the word that is needed. At the same time, being resolute in what we want to do. And we will not sacrifice the religion or the tradition to which what we belong to. It is such a beautiful Hindu culture. It is age old. It is there in the blood. It is there in our ancestry. You may not believe in gods. Please remember, your ancestry you have to necessarily believe. This is just nothing. The blood what runs. The soul what is there is just nothing else but addition to that ancestry and probably the final product. Understood? So have that spirit. Keep that in mind. Keep introspecting yourself. Where all you can better yourself. Instead of inspecting others and blaming them for their mistake. Please remember, outside when you look, everything will not be alright. For that, for everything to be alright, you must have the complete blessings of Sudarshana. Sudarshana means not good eyesight or good sight. It is good insight. The way we look at things should convey better wisdom to us, better knowledge to us, which can be practiced in day-to-day life to spread the positivity so that all these things can be cleansed. Those negativity can be cleansed. Today, as I said, both the Devata and the Rakshasa or the Asura is inside you. Sometimes in the morning it is Devata. When one goes to office, when he comes back in the evening, the Asura or the Rakshasa emanates. The light is the Devata and the darkness becomes the Asura. So, everybody has that. Everybody has that. So try to reduce that negativity, try to reduce that darkness, supplement it with light, do things which are more subservient to light, try to surrender to light. Bhagavan is there. He only created everything for us to be more matured. Probably as a kid, you will have children. You want them to study well. You want them to do well in the exam. Like that. We are all experimental products of Bhagavan. He has created many products and he keeps probably inspecting us. I created this. Very beautiful. I thought it may not do this. Now it is doing this. Okay. In the era of artificial intelligence, don't lose your natural intelligence. Don't become artificial too much. Yeah, nowadays reports I am hearing. Yes, the companies are encouraging people with AI, but they are also saying that too much of AI, people have become dull and they are not able to do even normal things. For that also they use AI. So, don't lose your natural intelligence. Don't keep running behind everything. It's not a rat race. Life is not a rat race. If you want to really enjoy life, you must be positive and you have to be non-expectational in life. You must be very courageous. Yesterday somebody was telling me, I'm a very honest person, but I'm scared. Please remember, if you are honest, if honesty is not backed with courage, that is not good. Honesty should be backed with courage and conviction. What you have to do, good, you must be able to do. Mere honesty is not important. For that, you must have the strength to implement. You must have the courage to implement an idea. If an idea has to fructify, if you feel that idea is very good and you are holding a position in the government or in the private sector, you must have the courage to implement and test it. Honesty without courage is of no use. Keep these things in mind. God bless you.